Laws 11057, Introduction to Law. Term 3, 2015, CQU University, Ross Scott, S0267-366. This is Assessment 3, Written Audio-Visual Research Skills. Lecturer is Mr. John Milburn. Due date 4th of January 2016. Prior to any legal research being conducted online, there needs to be some background information so we have a direction in which to guide our searches online. For the purpose of this assessment, I've written a fictitious scenario. I'll now share that fictitious scenario with you. On the screen. So we're now sharing. Now the scenario is based around an interview with a client that's seeking information in relation to a child in the care of the other parent where possible abuse is occurring. Client A is an infant daughter, X. Possible child abuse may have been witnessed between client A and the other parent. There are federal court orders in place. There's been no reported domestic violence, however, reported claims of contraventions in relation to the orders have been made. From the initial interview, we can tell that it will be in family court jurisdiction. There is a relationship definitely identified, and there are children involved in this matter. So the legal issues that brief legal issues that I've identified, being children at risk from sexual abuse, the ex being an infant, client to witness the alleged offences, is the other parent being competent, being deemed competent for daily care of the child. What are the federal parenting orders? To reiterate the risk from sexual abuse, we have to look at the unacceptable risks involved and what the definitions of those are. Infant, the definition of an infant, and how that would proceed. The daily care, is there a definition for daily care of a child? And the federal orders, what's actually in those orders? So we would need to cite those orders to continue the search for more material. Moving down, the issues raised were children or child. What does the term child or children mean in relation to parental care and responsibilities? Child protection, in what circumstances is this permitted? What does it actually, what's the definition of child protection? Any directions or orders contained within the federal order? Any relevant criminal code laws that we can look at? Risk of abuse or unacceptable risk. Now, from that, what we need to do is define all those terms, words and phrases. Before we can go further, what we use now is a LexisNexis Concise Australian Legal Dictionary. Contained within this dictionary are definitions of terms, phrases, and also within those, for example, on page 165, there is daily care and control of a child. So if we look back to our initial interview, is the parent competent for daily care of a child? This actually gives us the definition for daily care of a child. What it also gives us is references and citations to other cases, regulations and acts about that particular definition and topic or phrase. Once we've identified and got the dictionary meaning for those particular phrases that we're going to be searching for, it's then necessary, before we go to a legal research platform, is to figure out how we're actually going to do it. Now, in that instance, we just use the research guide. The research guide gives brief overviews on research platforms and how-to guides. Westlaw, Ostley, LexisNexis. It'll also show you how to use legal dictionaries and so forth and so on. It'll tell you where to look, how to look, and why to look. So keep that handy, and that is a great tool, and you cannot confidently, I cannot confidently research without this yet. I'm not sure if anybody can. What we'll do, we'll move straight along, and we'll go straight to the LexisNexis. So, move straight along. So we'll stop that share. We'll move along to the next screen, where we're actually going to have a look at Ostley. So if we jump into Ostley, and here we are. Right, so Ostley is obviously the Australian Legal Information Institute. You can no doubt we've all gone through the features, legislation, libraries, catalogues, and what it can and can't do. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to jump quickly into the search features and what we've already looked up in our search terms through our concise legal dictionary, and we're going to just jump straight into it. So in the search box, we're just going to populate it with some of our keywords and phrases. We'll start simple with child, abuse, and care. Now, putting it like that in that search box means and in between all those. If we want to change something different, we can go up to the help and we can change the search parameters there if we want to. But at the moment, we're just going to search for those particular areas, and we come up with 24,500 cases. So if we search, we search by database because we know it's going to be in the Federal Family Court. So if we just simply scroll down to the Family Court of Australia, full documents, 309 documents, so that narrows it down pretty quickly. Right, so now here we'll go back to unacceptable risk. Unacceptable risk. So we're narrowing down the search patterns, and our parameters come back with 92. From there, we can go further. We can put another one in. You know, parenting, abuse. We could put in criminal. Criminal, and we'll search for that. There you go, we pop up with 33. So now, we'll just take, so that's the link selected. Pick on the first one. So what we've got here now is appeal against the exercise of discretion on personal protected. So this virtually tells us how you can look for a young person to be protected and what we're going to actually look under. So this Protection Act, so there it is there. Brings us straight to the Act. So within that Act, we all know how to look up acts. So we can go down through assessment, action taken. We go right through it and actually look for what we want. What we're going to do, we'll go back for a second. Go back. And this is determination under relevant facts of the Family Law Act. So we'll just jump into the Family Law Act. Definitions. So we go down through that. That brings us through the definitions. What we're actually looking for is, we'll go back up here. And we can actually type in a few more. We can go to custody. Custody. What I like to do, I like to actually use both. Westlaw, so we're going to jump into Westlaw. The reason being is because we have to work quickly and precisely, I bounce the two off each other. So in here, we can type in the same search words and we can go child protection, abuse, and we can put care. So if we put those search terms in, actually we've already got young person in care and protection, so they may not come up. This is a slow machine, so what I do, I transfer back to this one, and I look through more documents as we're actually going along. This is the family court again, so we look up here, these search results have come back. So what we can do now, we go down here, and actually in this one we can go by jurisdiction. So the other one we picked it first, this one we can pick it now. So we open that, Australia, and we know it's Commonwealth, so we go Commonwealth because it's a federal family, the federal being the Commonwealth. So once we go into that, once again slow down, so you back jump over here and continue reading until it's repopulated. So that bouncing off each other I find is a very good tool. So you can keep looking as it's going. So here you can get all the Action, Family Law Act, the Guardianship Act, Family Law Rules. So this one's actually return to search. So you go back. So virtually what I'm doing, my legal research skills may be somewhat different, whereas I use two platforms, join them together, and conduct double the search parameters while still remaining focused on the task at hand. Now, we can keep going a long way with this, but what we're going to do is pick on something. So we'll pick on a judgment text of Westlaw. So what we're going to see here is, and that's a full screen feature. So what we'll do, we jump on here and we can actually read why everything was done. And the yellow is just your hits of your search parameter. So every search parameter you put in there will pop up in yellow, and that'll give you somewhere to look quicker. So that's Protection Act again. Cases cited, which means the cases which are used in relation to this one as case law. The introduction, so it goes through, once again you get your hits, keep going, you read the whole lot, and you can get there. Cited documents, just picking on Westlaw for now. Cited documents, these are all the cited documents that we use in this particular case. Got the court, Full High Court of Australia, Family Court. Judges, Justice Bryan, Justice Coleman, and Justice Ryan. We can download the PDF from here. You can actually download the document and read it up here. If you are searching for a particular phrase, word, or combination of thereof words, you can put them into here and you can locate them a lot quicker. So we'll just put care, and that'll pop up all yellows under care. So that's where that pops up. That's only the cited documents. Related documents should be your cited legislation and other material. And there it is. That's your other material. So the related legislations. So we can even have a look at the related legislations. Jump onto that. It's not going to hurt. So we've got 1,000 of them. So once again, you would simply go into your navigation over here, and you can narrow it down even further. Back on Bosley, it's the same thing. You can do a name search, database search, node up facility. So you hit the node up facility of that particular document, and that'll tell you everything that came up with the Director General. So, yeah. Right. So I head back home. One important thing that I would like to leave to leave you with is, once you've found your research, go back over Westlaw, once you've found something, what I've got in the habit of, we just pick on this. You found a particular piece that you want to keep. What I have done, you just highlight it and copy the link location. And back on my original template, search techniques, I've actually got a little section for citations found. So I jump back onto the citations found section, and what I do then is simply paste it in. So we know where that all came from, and we can refer back to that at a later stage. So everything you find that you might want to keep, you might think you can use later, I put it in there in relation to possible material that we can use. So, yeah. All right, I'll stop the sharing there now. Russell Scott, S0267366. Thank you for sharing with me.